Hello everyone, this is Xander Tyron, and I am back with Random Cast episode 28. In this battle, on the blue team, yep, it is KARAGOTH with his Israeli general deck. And on the red team, we have LarryTZK, or TZK, whatever pronunciation prefers it, the letter Z. Anyway, and he's using a Eastern Bloc general deck. Alright, and that's just speed long. It's a short replay today. I think I can see why. Alright, so how many commands is KARAGOTH starting out with? Looks like he's just doing a one command start, his safe hand P code. Because as we all know, command helicopters are the best CVs out there, especially because they do double as recon. Speaking of which, KARAGOTH decided to forsake recon altogether. However, I'm guessing he's thinking that a 2 3D Baz is a 3B Megach 6, 2 Macbeths. So yeah, it's no 2 3Bs, 2 3D Baz, 1 Megach 6, 2 Macbeths, and 1 Hove, whatever. It's a fairly significant force. And yeah. As for Larry, let's see what we got. So we got some, well, looks like it's just some rifle tree. It's down vetted. It's East German. What would East Germany have in an SPW 80 that actually has that low veterancy? 'Cause that's not whatchamacallit. Schützen. That's... Oh, is this the reserve Schützen? The East German Reserve Infantry? That's the... Because this is definitely the East German 5-man recon squad, because they're a militia unit. And it's just a 1 command start, or is he doing 2? Okay, 2 command starts, saving a command T72 into middle. So we have some German, pretty high, so I think that might be some LSCR 40 in there. Probably, yeah, I guess it's LSCR 40 in these guys. Got a Moderna in the middle. It's got 2 AP with shock infantry in it. That could be, it's one of the Polish ones. So it could be one of the things they have. I think they, or I know Czechoslovakia has a equivalent to Schützen, but I don't know if Poland does. I think they have a 15-man Marine unit or something. Anyway, and more, and a tour, and looks like more of the recon reservists. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd composition from Larry, it seems. Anyway, let's see how this plays out. So it looks like KARAGOTH is going to be going straight down the middle of the map. Oh, MiG-29 12A. So that's where the rest of Larry's points must have gone. Must have been saving up for that. Don't know where he's bombing. Is he trying to bomb like in here? Oh, he's bombing in there. Oh, anyway, he's getting chewed up by the Macbeths. Oh, is he gonna go down? It looks like he's gonna make it. Oh, and he barely makes it out. Okay, so we napalmed that road because reasons. This guy's gonna get wrecked. Yep, that's gone. This force is made here unscathed because, you know, KARAGOTH's over there. Yeah, it does have the +2, but he is massively overwhelmed. Yep, Macbeths are just chewing him up with the, yeah, you know, where am I? Baz, there you go. You know, with the lay hat. This guy's unloading. Yep, Grenzer. Moderna, no, it's not. I think it looks like I got one hit off on that 3D and then got wasted. Big 29, 12, another one. Because that first one would not have repaired by now. Looks like he's just going to bomb in here and try to napalm it out. Oh, I think he's going to make it out actually. Yep. Oh, got in there. So these guys are all panicked and stunned and whatnot. He's forgotten about these guys. Yep, that's definitely... Honestly... guessing that, like Larry said in the replay description, that, you know, this is like his second battle, so he doesn't know, you know, he doesn't have the experience and the know-how, you know, how do you deal with a cheese like this. And what he should have done is, basically as soon as he realized that he's getting cheese down the middle here, that he should have sent all these guys into Alpha, just rush him into the base and hope that he can get there before KARAGOTH gets too many base defenses up. Alright, so these guys are pretty panicked and messed up, but they're still perfectly intact. Oh, KARAGOTH's calling on another safe end, yep. Okay, yep, so Larry is moving these guys. And... But KARAGOTH is calling on another safe end, it's probably going to fly it around and drop it into Delta. MI2's up, but it's going to get shredded by... you know, the Macbeths. Like that. Which still don't have the right sound effect. But the Hovet does. There's a THS, but the THS is probably going to get chewed up by the, oh my god. He's using Gevnuni. It's the Dragon team. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh yeah, the Hovets are going to put a fair bit of hurt onto that guy. If he unloads it though, he's going to have presumably LSTR 40 on the ground. Oh, T-72 is going up. Ooh, is he going to try and do a base swap maybe? This is the Tor. It's turned off. Oh, if only he knew that safe. I was he might be able to whack it with the Tor, but okay. So what do we got? These Spadocroniazi and Siatsi. Okay, yeah. So Poland does have a Motschützen equivalent. Oh, CHS line. Let's hope it gets those boots on. Oh no, actually it's just hovering there. You should be. Larry should be unloading that. Oh, he calls out MI-24, but he gets wrecked by the Macbeths. The Makava is... That one Makava is messed up, but the other guys are still... Oh wait, maybe not quite. 7 HP, 7 HP, 8 HP. This guy's on 1 HP. 4 HP, 3 HP. So they're pretty messed up, but... Yeah, WD-43 is running for it. Okay, so all he did is reposition his CV and Charlie. If it's lucky, it might catch out one tank, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, yeah, MI-24 got shot down because, you know, by the Macbeth. Ground zero out. And now there's a bunch of... Oh, yep, Rovier 90 and Shaitet 13. That's... Oh, it's... Like Schützen. Oh god, like Schützen. Just look away. Anyway. So yep, KARAGOTH's cap Delta. Obsessa is out, and there's no air defense here whatsoever. That Tor should have been moving up with these guys. All these guys should have just been pouring into Alpha. SPW-40's not dead yet. Like shoots in our being terrible, like always. Yep, oh, here comes the rockets. That's up Hydras, now it's going in with the Vulcan. Oh, T-72 is reversing out of there, it looks like. Yep. It's got a nice little death ball of tanks going towards it. Meanwhile, these guys are just getting absolutely chewed up over in here. Oh, Grand's gonna go for the sneaky stuff. They probably won't make it though. They're malicious, so they're slow. T-72 gonna keep running, or is he gonna make a stand with it? Oh, spotted, yep. Oh, gets critted by the Macbeth and wiped out by a Baz. Over here, Grunzers are just wandering about it there. This guy's just sitting in Echo, which is, you know, advertising its position. These guys are loading back up, but they're not going to make it anywhere useful. Yeah, this looks like it's not going to go too well for Larry. In case you haven't noticed by now. Yep, Grunts are spotted. They're going to have a bad day. 3 762 machine guns are going to do a number on you. Or not. Yeah, there goes your... Here's your dragon for you. This thing's probably just gonna get chewed up by that Hovat. And then the safe hand can just fly away. Oh, this SPW-40 is surprisingly still alive. Yep, Hovat just perma-stuns this guy. He's gonna blitz it out of existence. And then these guys are just gonna get blitzed out of existence. Yep, Grunzer go down. It's like the 3B put him down with one shot. Yep. Oh, that guy made it into Alpha. If he'd gotten that there earlier, he could have been able to shut down KARAGOTH's reinforcements into it. And yeah. I'd say that's about it for Larry's efforts. Unless he could somehow pull off a miracle with a Tor and a WD-43. Not likely, considering the fact that neither of them can damage ground units. Yeah, and he surrenders. Okay. I'm not even going to bother breaking, you know, this down. Doesn't matter. So, what we saw in this battle is just, you know, KARAGOTH, he's been at this a while. But, you know, we all know this. He's been doing this a while. So let's just, you know, do a quick review on what do you do when you're getting cheesed. And quite frankly, if you know, especially, you know, Larry, like, you know, as he said in replay description, as I mentioned, he is new to ranked, so he's probably not used to. I don't know his full story. I think he's actually on my friends list in game, but that's whatever. Anyway, so he's not used to, you know, getting cheesed and whatnot, and you know, or probably not, you know, not used to 1v1 cheese, but, you know, tank rush or helo rush, stuff like that. And he just made some odd decisions. Like, he had the MiG-29 12A for a napalm opener, which is, you know, it's not a bad bomber, but trying to do a napalm opening just is not reliable, especially on a map like Helm, a very small place where there's, you know, like 3 or 4 different roads that your enemy could be on during the opening. So you just can't do a napalm opening, so that's 120 points that are basically wasted on his part, and he called out 2 of them, I think. With, you know, and neither of which did much. As well, he was a bit indecisive in his opening. He left those units in the middle. I think what he should have done is, as soon as he realized he was getting rushed, he should have just moved all his commands, all of his stuff, all of his infantry, like all of his units, and just bum rush KARAGOTH's base. It's not a guaranteed win, but it's better than, you know, yeah, it's a bit better than what he did, where, you know, he did eventually do it, but it's a bit slow. He's a bit slow on the draw to do it, and he also forgot to unload his LSTR-40, or whatever it is that he had in his helicopters. I don't know the full composition of his deck. I just know that his infantry choices at least were a bit odd. Like, he's using Lechschützen, which are I know, where's my Red Dragon? There, my Eastern Bloc General. Now, I'm not saying that this is the be-all, end-all of, you know, Eastern Bloc. And Eastern Bloc also does have some some weaknesses, like honestly, its anti-helicopter game's kind of on the weaker side of things. You know, I think it's marginally better than, you know, say, you know, Dutch-German Corps, but that's not saying much. No, this is what? Gun AA. You don't have a lot of choices. The only thing you have, basically the only guys you have, AA pieces you have with, you know, more than 2.8 anti-helicopter range are, you know, the Tunguska, just the base Tunguska, which is, missiles aren't bad, but they're not great. The Tunguska M does definitely definitely has better missiles. You do have the Strop 2, which is, I know, it's not, once again, it's not great. I like the Sobel just because it does have a stabilizer, even though it's not as shooty as the Strop 2. Like, honestly, once the Strop 2 gets into position, and it can, you know, it's wheeled, so it gets here at a decent pace. It's just, it doesn't have great accuracy. It is better than the Sobel, but also has no stabilizers. Which does mean that if it gets caught out on the move, it's screwed. Also, it doesn't, yeah. Alright, look, I think they both have 2 missiles ready to fire. So there's no major advantage there compared to the missiles. Oh, the Grom is a little bit better. It's a better missile. It's more accurate, more range. And yeah. So that's, you know, there's that. So, Gun A is not amazing, but not bad. You know, they do have, you know, these are both, you know, non-radar options, which can be quite helpful. And then, of course, you have the regular Strop 1, which is Terabad. Like, it wouldn't be a horrible AA piece if it didn't have, you know, 200 kilometers autonomy. Anyway, as for missile, you know, most people just spam OSAs, or ROMs as the Polish call them. As you saw, Larry, you know, he did have the Tor, which is, you know, your best anti-helicopter piece, but it's 80 points, so it's a little bit on the pricey side. You know, compared to, but it's also, the thing to remember is this radar, so it is vulnerable to seed. It's got, you know, 60%, that's good accuracy, 70 HE power, so it can potentially one-shot crit a plane. As well, it's also a general purpose, you know, it's a general purpose AA piece. It can engage, has good anti-helicopter range, and has decent anti-airplane range. It's not amazing anti-aircraft range, like, compare it to OSA AKM. You know, it's better than the OSA AKM. Better accuracy. It's also more expensive, and that's the thing. You do pay for that, you know, general purpose utility. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I'm just saying you do that. You know, for the most part, Eastern Bloc, just its anti-helicopter game is not great. That's the thing you have to remember. I think that's their biggest weakness. Anti-tank game, it's not bad. Like, for the most part, their tanks are all right. You know, they do kind of suffer from, you know, a lack of a proper super heavy. You know, the Moderna's almost there, but you know, it's 21 frontal armor instead of 22, which is the standard for a super heavy. It has, you know, 23 AP is not bad. It's just the accuracy and stabilizers are bad for a super heavy. And then you have the Twardy, which basically trades raw survivability and damage for, you know, just better gun handling. You know, that's why I bring both. You never know which one you're going to need. No. It's not amazing. And also the thing to remember is the Twardy does have a higher rate of fire. You know, it's not only 9 rounds a minute. You know, only 1 more. But it's something you want to consider. And yeah, I think that's all I have to address. But anyways, this is infantry tab seemed odd. Like, you know, I'll be the first to admit, I'm not a huge fan of using helicopter infantry in general. You know, that's just my thing. I've never been particularly good at using it. That's my personal experience. I'm not saying, you know, don't use helicopter infantry. I'm just saying that, you know, they can be they definitely have a narrow margin of error, I find, because, you know, they take a while to unload, and, you know, when you're not cheesing helicopters, you're not, you know, helo rushing somebody, the things that counter helicopters counter them hard. Yeah, so he probably should have had his LSR-40, which is what I'm guessing his elite infantry was. Because it was East German, and it was high veterancy in a helicopter. Commando, there we go. So that would be FJB-40 or LCR-40. Those guys come in helicopters. I don't think any of their other infantry come in helicopters. Oh, Rock Regiment does. So unless he was having these guys upvetted in there, which I don't think he was doing because that would be silly. But you never know. No, I'm not trying to hate on Larry, though. You know, it's obvious that maybe he's not quite used to a 1v1 setup for Eastern Bloc, which is nothing wrong with that. You know, this game is very... It can be pretty unforgiving with the deck system. You know, you really have to know what you're doing, especially when it comes to rank. As you can see from my massive failures at it. But yeah. So Eastern Bloc definitely has some good stuff, and it's still a good deck. It just... You have to keep in mind his weaknesses, I figure. And why am I looking at mine and not just in the armor? Oh, whatever. This is, I said, this is my compass. You know, I have the LCR-40 for that fast, you know. First of all, it's it's a Vampire, so it's, you know, one of the best reloadable anti-tank weapons in the game. It has long range, good accuracy, good AP power. Just good all around, and it's on an elite training unit, so, you know, they don't get panicked as easily and they recover from morale shocks faster. I take the Moto Strelchi with me because, you know, just so I have some cheap infantry to spam, you know. 10 plus 5 infantry is good, you know. You know, that the difference between the 15 AP power on this and say the 16 AP power on an M72 A4, like what you see with Canadian rifles or Sochong Su 80, you know, Canadian rifles 85, Sochong Su 85, you know, the upgraded 10-point light infantry, or the Finnish Yukari 90 for a red, for example, you know. The difference between 15 and 16 AP power is huge, because 15 AP power will leave 2 armor on like 1 or 2 hit points. 16 AP power will one-shot 2 armor, which is a huge deal because, you know, you can one-shot most common infantry transports, especially the less expensive ones. But still, they're not bad for what they are. They're just not amazing. And then, of course, you have motor shoots. And some people, you know, swear by motor shoots. You know, it's the only rifle infantry you need in Eastern Bloc is motor shoots. And I love people, you know. It's a bit regrettable that Eugen saw fit to price nerf the BMP1 SP1. It's a bit of a shame. I don't think it really needed it, especially considering the fact that, you know, Finland gets a 10-point BMP1 though. Theirs has 1 more rounds minute at the cost of not being auto-loaded. Regular BMP, you know, all BMP1s, their gun is auto-loaded except for the Finnish one, which is manual loaded, so it does suffer from morale damage, which is going to happen in a forest fight. So I'd say overall that this one is slightly better than the Finnish one, but it's not 5 points more better. I think part of the reason why I did is because, you know, you can get 15-point motor shoots in. I don't know. But it's just... It's whatever, I guess, you know. Too late to change it, but that definitely weakened Eastern Bloc's game. Or infantry grinding game, at least. Because that did... You know, it's not a great fire support, but at 10 points, you can't complain, especially with 3 frontal armor, which does allow it to take some abuse. Not a lot, but some. And yeah. What else, you know, conquers them. It's not the be-all, end-all of ATGM launchers, and, you know, 2.6 kilometer range is not bad. 23 AP power, not bad. It's just, the missile itself is kind of slow, and it's only 50% accuracy, which means it's not the most reliable ATGM. You know, this is the Milan F3. You know, sure, they're the top-tier ATGMs for their respective factions, but, or coalitions, whatever. But, you know, 50% accuracy can be surprisingly inaccurate, I find. That's that. Recon, you know what? Eastern Bloc's Recon tab is not bad. You know, Salamandra, it's debatable whether or not it's good. It's 80 points, so it is kind of expensive. It has no gun, and it only carries very few rockets and missiles. But sometimes it's all you need. Sometimes, so it can be situational, and their other helicopter options aren't great. You have this thing, which is overpriced. Then again, a lot of recon helicopters are overpriced, especially the unarmed ones, because they just pay so much for optics. Anyway. you're spoiled for choices with regular infantry. You know, you have Grenzers for 5 men. They're just a cheap pair of very good optics. That's really all they are. I guess you could pair them with the SPW4, you know, get 2 recon units for the price of 1. Or basically you are paying for 2 different recon units, but that's whatever. You know, 15 or 25 points altogether. And now that's basically what, you know, Grenzer, you know, they just, you throw them in a bush and they spot things for you while being hard to spot themselves. Of course, you also have the Czech shock infantry. But of course, you know, actually all 3 of them have not quite identical. Okay, these guys are identical. These guys have a different launcher, which is marginally better at close range. Basically has less range. These guys also have a instead of machine gun, they also have a sniper rifle. I find sniper rifles aren't particularly useful, but I guess to each their own. And of course, you also have special forces. You have Formosa, which are, you know, they're great at, you know, blitzing infantry out of existence, but as soon as vehicles show up, they get wrecked because, you know, they don't have an anti-tank weapon, they just have a grenade launcher. Rex infantry, it will stun one armor vehicle and do some damage to it, but they're not doing a lot of damage. Kampfschwimmer, they suffer from two-man sniper team syndrome, and that they're really expensive for just, you know, a unit you're going to sit in a bush and pray to God that they don't get seen because they get obliterated by the first thing that sneezes in their directions. And then you have this Specialny Jednotki. I really like these guys. Not so much the 75 version, you know. They're whatever. You know, they're all like all the other 25-point recon infantry with terrible AT weapons. You know, if an infantry in a light transport stumble upon them, they'll probably take it out, but overall, you just kind of use them for sneaking around and maybe sniping out light targets or just general purpose. A slightly tougher recon infantry that can spot for you. And my personal favorite, Specialny Jednotki 90. These guys can't only spot, but they're actually good at killing too. They'll wreck infantry, and their RPG 26 is not bad at all. And they can chew up vehicles quite proficiently. And you have they're recon special forces, so, you know, they only come in, you know, fast transport, so wheels and helicopters. And of course, you know, you get them in the Mi-17, which is always lovely. Vehicle tabs, like most nations, their vehicle tabs nothing to write home about. You know, the Pram is not a bad little fire support vehicle. It's not particularly accurate, but 5 HE power. You know, that's what, 5 times 7 is what, 35 HE a minute. So it's not bad at all. And it has, you know, 2.4 kilometer range. So it does outrange a lot of things that can potentially threaten them, like tanks and some ATGMs. Or actually, this is the same range as a lot of ATGMs, but I would not rely on this thing to try and counter them. Aside from not really nothing else, I have the ASU 85M, but I barely use it, and I'd probably drop it for something else that's more useful. Like this guy. Look at that. It's got 2 KPV or ZPTU 2s. That means it's twice the DACA. Anyway, helicopter tab. Not a lot to write home about. You have this guy, but it's, I don't know, 95 points for 4 Kokon M's and 4 AA missiles. You know, 4 AA missiles. It's not particularly good, you know. They're dangerous to helicopters, you know, 2.6 kilometer range. You also do have not bad, you know, anti-plane range, but at 4 HE they're not going to be particularly killy. Yeah, this guy, garbage. This guy, you know, it'd be nice if it had Kokon M's instead of just base Kokons, but you can't pick them all. But, you know, it has a lot of 80mm rockets, and 80mm rockets are pretty killy. Its gun, while it seems like it wouldn't be bad, it suffers from fixed gun syndrome, so it takes forever to aim, and it's half the time useless. This guy, it's budget escort helicopter. Another budget X-squared helicopter. This one has 50% accuracy though. But you know, 3 HE. And then you have the Sokol, which I really wish, it's Polish, I wish it had Groms on it, to be honest. That would have been fun. But alas, it's only eggless, so it's still not bad. You know, it's 4 of them like most escort helicopters, so it can reliably kill another helicopter and maybe damage another one, depending on how close together they are. And also, you know, it does have the 23mm gun, which is, once again, fixed gun syndrome. So it takes a while to aim and it's not particularly reliable. It also has some 80mm rockets, but once again, just like the Salamandra, it's not a lot, only 20. This guy, it's Glorious Yak B, but it's only 57mm rockets, which aren't particularly good. You know, if they catch out infantry in the open, they will panic them and do some damage, but unlike 70mm rockets and 80mm rockets, those guys also wreck vehicles like nobody's business, and they can wreck infantry that are already in cover, like in a building. The 57mm rockets just don't have that capability. And Kokons, base Kokons, so it's MI4, garbage. See this guy. This guy has 80mm rockets and has 40 of them. Also has a lot of Kokons, so it's Yeah, I guess you could buy it for the rockets, but it's a lot of money to spend just for the rockets. And the Kokons really aren't going to do much to help out, except against, you know, fairly light armor. And then you have this guy. Glorious Yak B, garbage ATGM. But you get, you know, 240mm rockets, which if they hit will absolutely wreck, you know, they will wreck a lot of things. They'll, you know, if they get a direct hit, they'll one-shot an infantry squad, they'll one-shot a one-armor vehicle, if they get a direct hit, which is not guaranteed at 40% accuracy. And I don't know why I just keep rambling on. I'm just basically doing... This video turned into how to Eastern Bloc. I don't know why. Anyway. Plane tab, there's some debate here. I like using... For 1v1s, I like this guy, just because you do get him on veteran, and that really helps with the 60% accuracy, 40% ECM. This thing is great. It's one of, you know, it's one of the best ASFs at its price point. You also do have the East German one, which is only difference is it gets R77s instead of R27Rs. They have less range, same accuracy, one less HP power, but you know, they're fire and forget. You know, you want to keep that in mind. But it's also 15 points more expensive, and it comes at 2 hardened instead of 2 veterans, so it... I think that, you know, at least for a 1v1, the MiG-29 is probably your... the Polish MiG-29, there we go. It's probably your better option. For seed, honestly, I probably should replace it with the East German one. Or I guess you could go with the Czech one if you are a masochist. Anyway, you got these guys come 2 rookie, 1 elite. East German one is 2 trained, 1 elite. And this is where the East German one is better. First of all, slightly less expensive. And since it does have air-to-air missiles, it also gets slightly better training. So while it doesn't have as many, you know, seed missiles, anti-radiation missiles, the ones it does have are a little bit better. They hit a bit harder, which doesn't really make much of a difference, to be honest, unless you're... I think it only really makes a difference when you're shooting at a Challenger marksman, which you're not likely to see particularly often, but it's a possibility. But they're just a little bit more reliable, and it does have less of them, but that's it. The only real disadvantage I'd say it has is it has less ECM for reasons. I'm not going to tell you why, but it does. Probably a jamming pod that's not modeled. Anyway, then you have your, you know, and then you have your bomber. It'll be on this particular one's under the multi-role tab. Your MiG-29 912A. I like it. I think it's good. Has that good HE power. I don't really take it for the napalm more so than, you know, just the fact it's a good old thermobaric bomb. That, you know, 40% ECM means that it's pretty survivable. Of course, your other option for a bomber is, where is it? The RBF. Actually, I'd probably pin these for comparison. If I can get the right tab. Okay. Oh my god. Where is my MiG-29? There we go. So the MiG-25 is 5 points more expensive. Has 30% ECM, which is still good. It's also faster and also has a much worse turning radius. Though it does have, 8 500-kilogram bombs, which, it carries a much bigger payload. Has twice as many bombs, and the bomb that does carry have more HE power on them. So it has a lot more HE on target. Same accuracy, but that's whatever. MiG-29 did, one of the reasons why it has the price it has for the MiG-29 is it, does carry two, not bad, short-range missiles. R-73A Vempel is one of the best SRAMs in the game. It's of questionable utility on it. I guess you could use it to snipe a helicopter, or in an emergency you can use it against another plane. Probably not successfully, but in theory you can. However, I know I just find it's a bit more of a reliable bomber. The MiG-25 is not bad. I can't remember what its bombing pattern's quite looks like, but it's not a bad pattern at all. It'll wreck things. It's just, between the ECM and the, words fail me, turning radius, it's just not nearly as survivable. It's more likely to stray over, turn, into the enemy air defense network, and it's more likely to eat a missile. It is faster, but I find that when it comes to a bomber, the difference between 900 and 1,000 is not a make or break. On an ASF, 900 and 1,000 feels like it can be a lot. Fair enough, it is. Which, the weakness of the MiG-29s is, most of them are 900 kilometers an hour, which is a bit silly, but not arguing. And then, of course, you have your anti-tank plane. I go with the Syria 30 because it has that lovely, that sweet spot. 2 fire and forget 30 AP missiles. They're only 50% accuracy, and so your chances of both of them hitting are some percentage. I'm sure someone who's good with math can tell you what your actual chance of both of them hitting are. But it does mean that it can, potentially knock out any any tank in the game in one pass. In theory, to take out a super heavy, it either has to get, both missiles have to hit the front, or it has to get a side shot, which is, I like to go for the side shot just because you're more likely to kill it in one run, but sometimes you don't get that luxury. I'd say its only weakness is versatile 20% ECM, and its speed at turn. It's just, these stats here are not great. That's its weakness. Aside from that, you don't really have a lot for anti-tank. You can go with this one, but it's garbage. What's this one? Yep, you have this one. It has, 30 AP, but these guys are semi-active, not fire and forget, so it's more likely to miss just due to morale damage, and also 10% ECM. And also you have the ever-popular Su-25K, which is not great. It's that lovely turn radius, garbage ECM. Missiles, it's 4 missiles, but they're semi-active, and they're 28 AP power, so it's not likely to kill, but you also do have to remember it does have the heat gun on it, which will also do a lot of damage to a tank. Maybe not a lot, but it'll do a fair chunk. But for anti-tank purposes, especially for super heavy removal, I find the Su-22 is your most reliable option. Yeah. I don't know what this video is. It eventually became how to Eastern Bloc, and it started out as random cast. Yeah, before this gets even more out of hand, I'm just gonna call it here. Yeah, I'm LarryTZK, and this was Random Cast episode 28, supposedly. You guys have a lovely day.